All right, now I think, do you hear me? Hey, you guys. Oh, okay, live on YouTube. Sup. Let's see if, oh, hi, sister. Okay, so this works. Great. Okay. You were probably just watching me speak with absolutely no sound. Hello, my friends. Okay, I'm turning Instagram on. They were laughing at me because, well, not laughing at me, laughing with me. I'm back. I'm back, Instagram. What's up, everybody? I was saying while I was on mute that hi, Jim. Hey, I just I woke up from a nap and I'm feeling like a little off, but you know, I'm a pretty optimistic, chipper person most of the time, but when I wake up from my naps, I feel a little groggy. But I'm doing this thing where I really want to just live stream with you guys every single day, no matter what. Even if I don't feel like 100%, which is like, I don't know, I feel a little weird, to be honest. How do you feel? I think it's just because I've been cooped up inside and like everything feels a little bit still strange to me. Thank you. Thank you, Josh. You're very kind. What's up, Katie? Hi, Alejandro. Hello. Lots of people. Hey, Gerald. What's up, Dan? Oh my God, you guys are already making me feel better. I was feeling a little down, and like just the fact that y'all are hanging out is making me feel better. So I'm overwhelmed. Thank you. And the other thing I like to do when I'm feeling kind of overwhelmed is just like play some music. Can you hear that? Is that loud enough? It's my keyboard. Place must be really clean. Hi, Michael. You guys are like giving me so much life right now. I've met my heartache, drained the bottle dry. My tears of sadness, salt has stayed in my eyes. I've been let down someday. I stuck around. This is an original song. Lost to it's called Trying to Figure It Out. It's all I know. There's distortion? Where? Is it the piano? It might be the webcam doing that. See if it's better. The up and down. Is that better? On this bumpy road, I'm trying for something to bring me home. We're all trying to figure it out. Thank you. I will not let the blues break me. Leo and I are not dating. I will not let the blues take me. The keyboard's still clipping. During my time, I cried my woes. The sorry's for the taking. One step and then another. And slowly we discover. Thank you, Haley. Good to hear. Well, it may not be perfect. You guys are giving me so much energy. Or the way we planned. But we're only here for the time at hand. So keep your head high. Hi, Kirk. And do trying to figure it out. Is this, let me know if this is distorting. Yeah, wow, you guys, so many of you are here online. Hey, Drew. So, Gustavo, you just stopped Netflix to watch me? This is like the ultimate compliment. Hey, Gabriel. So how are you guys doing in this whole situation, this climate? Just, you know, I gotta say, it is really, I was taking a walk outside, and part of me feels like it's this gorgeous, gorgeous spring day. I'm talking about yesterday, right? The sun was shining, just so, people were like, you know, out with their babies and their puppies, but then it's like also this feeling of like guilt almost for enjoying it, for enjoying the outside, because then the whole thing of, oh my gosh, you know, there's this crisis happening and I'm breathing what seems to feel like really fresh air, and yet there's, you know, people all around the world who are in very different situations. I hope none of your loved ones are sick. I hope you're not battling any type of serious sickness. Hope you guys are staying healthy. But it was really kind of bizarre because in my head I started thinking like, in music, I think this would be like writing a song that had both a very chaotic piece to it, you know, like maybe a bass line that'd be like, but then I feel all this melancholy and kind of the sadness, and like all these places are closed and we got to stay far away from each other, and on top of it I could hear this like very melancholy melody, you know. You know what I mean? Like, I kind of like that actually. That was kind of cool. Hi, Gary! So I have been taking my vitamin D. Actually, yeah, that's I'm deficient in vitamin D. I find that out recently from a test. I think a lot of us are. So I've been taking my dose of vitamin D. So one part of my head hears like this chaos, and it's like very much speaking to the times, and I hear this bass and drums like you know what I mean? And like a distorted guitars and but then I hear like this melancholy sadness over it all. But then, like you said, Gerald, I also feel like really, I'm personally healthy right now, and I'm like really enjoying myself, and it's a beautiful spring day, so there's a lot of happiness with that too, right? I don't know. I feel like I'm just feeling a lot of feelings. I don't know about y'all. You know? Somebody's like, no melancholy. I know some of you are like really sad to not see your friends at school. Mike is saying he's a photographer, and this kind of light and climate is so rare. It's breaking my heart. I hope everyone stays safe. Yeah, it is rare. I mean, I'm in New York, you guys, and it's like so quiet. It's so quiet, which like I love. And I'm totally, usually when I'm home from tour, I'm a complete introvert and I like don't go out at all. So in many ways, like my life hasn't really changed that much besides like 3 months of gigs getting canceled and rescheduled. That's changed a lot. But the other parts, just kind of like my routine, that hasn't necessarily changed. It's kind of just doing FaceTime calls with friends instead of going out. But, here in my little nook apartment, and I guess the really cool thing is to be able to be together and have this moment. So I was feeling kind of weird, but now I'm feeling a lot better. Just like to know that we're all tuned in. Great thing about the internet. So I've been singing these songs, posting them on Instagram every day as kind of just, I don't know, little sound bites that I hope cheer you guys up if any of you are having a rough time. If you're already happy, good. And some of us are like in the middle, right? So I've been doing these funny content pieces where I'm like exercising with my baritone saxophone. I hope it makes you smile. A lot of you have been commenting saying it's pretty funny. No bari saxes were harmed in the making of that, friends. And then singing these songs to you. Wait, can you guys still hear me on YouTube and Facebook, or did I just lose that? Did you just lose me? Go upbeat. Yeah, yeah. I was going to go to All-State Jazz and Classical, but now I can't. Oh, no. But you still can compose. That's great. Take this time to compose. I do think that this is a good time to in our introvertedness, get to grow in other capacities. And I've been home doing meditation and working out, working on music, growing my business on the online, capacity, since I can't be out on the road with all of you right now. I like that, Gustavo. We should produce something together. Yes. All right, let's take some questions. Who's got some questions? Let's see. Oh, this is not really a question, but I love it. Someone on Instagram saying, hey, I made a cover based of You Got a Friend and Me Disney cover. I love that. I'd love to hear it. Please tag me. For those of you who don't know, I did a little Instagram video yesterday. Love, love, love that Randy Newman song. You've got a friend in me. You've got a friend in me. You got troubles. I got them too. What a great line. And I never knew how juicy that bridge is too, just getting on a very nerdy chord. just in a nerdy chord way. It's like super, super cool. Oh, someone else's All-State band got canceled. Oh. Michael, that's very kind of you to say. Unfortunately, like canceled gigs right now does affect me and the business financially, just because, that's kind of the main part of my business. But hopefully most of them are actually rescheduled, and we don't really know when when any of us artists will be able to get back on the road, never mind all of us back to, being outside together. But I hope it's sooner than later. I really appreciate your comment. And meanwhile, it's just, I've always been a fan of creating content online. To be honest, when I'm on the road, it just sometimes gets a little bit hard to just juggle like the demands of being on the road and getting enough rest and exercise and feeling really good for performance, all while doing online creation. And so I recognize this is a great opportunity to really dig deep with making online content. Leo P and I, we have a collaboration band called We Are Too Saxy. We hosted our very first online workshop a week ago, which a lot of y'all came out. What am I saying? A lot of y'all came to your computer and joined us. So I'm gearing up for more of that. I'm teaching a bunch of online Skype lessons right now, which if any of you are interested, I'm available now and for the foreseeable future to teach online lessons. And I'm doing some remote recordings as well. And I would just recommend to any artists out there, well, first of all, very curious how you're doing in this climate. First and foremost, I hope everyone's healthy. And I hope your loved ones are cool. And this is the most important thing. But besides that, if all that is good, God bless, that's a beautiful thing. But then the other part is like, I don't know, any artist friends, how you guys doing out there? Because I know for a lot of us that our main business is being out in person and performing live. This is a very different, we got to like figure out how to work this new paradigm. Luckily, we have the internet. So there's the ability for all of us to connect nonetheless. I've actually been contemplating perhaps doing a virtual concert for all of y'all. Is that something that sounds interesting? Would you sign up for that or buy tickets to a virtual Grace Kelly concert? Anybody? That's on my mind because with all the cancellations and reschedules of gigs, yeah, I'll probably charge I would charge a ticket, a virtual ticket for it if it's going to be a proper concert, which is what I'm thinking. I'm thinking with all the rescheduled and canceled dates, it can still do a concert. It just won't be, you won't be next to me, but you'll be like next to me in the way that you're next to me right now. So, cool. Well, if any of you do want to do Skype lessons, I have lessons available. You can sign up with me on my website, which is gracekellymusic.com. And if you go to the Grace Kelly store, you can buy Skype lessons there. You can buy a package of them, which is what most of my students do. But I also just created the option for you to buy one lesson because I know that, it makes sense that you would want to kind of feel each other out. I absolutely adore teaching. I love it. I am so gosh darn proud of my students. I'm not going to name them by name, but I have seen some of my students, I have seen them soar and are now just like getting into these musical programs and winning accolades and just really taking it seriously and sounding great. And I think I'm just one tiny piece of these cats' development, but even to be a part of it feels really amazing, and I'm learning a lot while teaching them. Yay! Chris and Joseph say they're into the virtual concert. Okay, Grace, no. And the thing I love about the situation right now is I'm actually able to teach my students on like a very regular basis, like every week, which before with tour it was always a little crazy and sometimes we'd have to spread lessons out. So now it's like, I think it's really important to have a lesson plan, to have goals, to be able to do a follow-up every week. And, having a teacher, which I still have my teachers, really keeps you accountable to showing up to the next lesson and being able to work on that next thing and then get feedback on that thing and keep it going. So yeah, Haley, awesome. Well, you can check it out on my website. I look forward to hearing from you. You know what? Yesterday, you guys, we actually had some great calls, which I can take the calls on Instagram. And let's see if cats have some questions. Okay. We're going to bring somebody in right now. On YouTube and Facebook, you're probably only going to hear them. Instagram, you can see them. Or if you want to go to Instagram, you can see who's calling in. So it's, hey, what's up?
Hello.
How you doing, man?
Good.
You're live. Where are you calling in from?
Australia.
Australia? Wow. What time is it?
It's at 10:58.
10:58. A.M. A.M.?
It's just the morning.
All right. Well, it's 9 o'clock here in New York time. You're live on Instagram and Facebook and YouTube. They can't see you there, but the IG fam can. Are you a saxophonist or a musician?
Yes, I've played sax for about 4.5 years.
Cool. How's it going?
Pretty good.
Yeah. What song are you currently working on?
Not much really, actually.
Okay. Are you in like band? Are you taking private lessons?
Yeah, I got private lessons at school and in a band at school.
Cool, man. Do you have any questions that you're currently contemplating about the saxophone?
Not really, actually.
Not really. All right. Well, I'm happy to hear, very, very happy to hear you're rocking it on the sax. That's music to my ears. Glad you called in. Thanks for joining us. Ciao for now. Have a good day. Ciao. I love it. We got friends. Can you guys hear that on Instagram, YouTube? We got friends calling in from Australia, you guys. Do I have therapy sessions? Oh, wait, somebody's asking, do you mean like when I'm a therapist? Or I could probably, look, if you wanted to book a Skype lesson, I could create a music therapy session. Nobody's ever asked me that before. I was interested I'm very interested in music therapy because I think that at the core of what we do as musicians and artists, it is this very healing process. And you guys even just proved it to me of like when we're together, even virtually, it really can change the whole energy. I feel like before I started the stream, I was feeling a little like down. I was feeling weird. I don't know. But now I feel a lot better, and it's all because of you. So thank you. Michael, you're asking about who are some of my major influences. Actually, I absolutely love Stan Getz and Paul Desmond, who you just mentioned. Charlie Parker, Cannonball Adderley, Lee Conant, Phil Woods, Johnny Hodges. I particularly have grown up listening to singers, and I would say that I listen to even more singers than saxophonists, and I think that's probably the way that I shaped my sound on saxophone even more. And whether I was listening to Frank Sinatra or my parents were playing like June Christie or Sarah Vaughan around the house, you know, I kind of just like take all those sounds and I put them in the saxophone. You definitely don't have to just listen to saxophonists in order to learn saxophone. Actually, I highly recommend listening to other musicians, trumpet players, guitarists, singers, accordion players, bagpipe players, and like transcribe them. I have an assignment with my students where like they have to transcribe a singer, one of their favorite singers singing a ballad, because I guarantee that the way you'll start to phrase on the saxophone will be very different the minute that you're kind of tuned into another instrument or to voice. And then you won't really fall into the same type of fingerings and stuff. You know? Yeah. Josh the Singer, thank you, Ken. Josh the Singer saying, learning singing is a great way to get better at phrasing. Absolutely. What's up, Ramos? And I always learn the words too. I really like to know what I'm playing about. It's important to me, you know. If I sang, you've got a friend in me. You've got a friend in me. That holds a lot of meaning in my heart. And so when I pick up a saxophone, I'm gonna play it like I'm singing to you. And I also know exactly where to breathe. You know what I mean? Like I wouldn't play, you've got a friend in me. You've got a friend in me. It's like, it doesn't go with the words. So that's why it's really important. Just like know the words, know what you're singing about. So suddenly when I pick up the sax and I play, there it is. My hope is that I'm kind of like singing it to you. I got a question here. William saying, what would you recommend for expanding your musical vocabulary? I would recommend studying some jazz theory, because learning jazz and learning theory behind it is kind of equivalent to like learning Latin. You know, it's not necessarily that you're going to speak and play with all this jazz theory, but it's more like, you know, the roots of words, you know how to be able to navigate, I'd say, in almost any musical situation after you have studied jazz theory. Because a lot of pop songs are much more repetitive and at moments much more simple. And I don't say that in any type of judging way. I'm just saying, like, you know, when you look at chord structures, a lot of times there's pop songs have a more simple chord structure, unless you're Randy Newman and putting in all this chromatic yumminess. And there's a lot of jazz songs that are just really dense with a ton of chords. But it's if you can master the dense stuff, you can play everything else, and you're also going to have the vocabulary to feel confident to go into any musical setting. So I think that's important for, you know, whether it, William, if I said to you, you know, sit down and play me your 3-6-2-5-1s, play me your 2-5-1s, play me your tritone substitutions. If you can nail all that, I have a feeling that you can get into a whole lot of other things. So let's see, we got some more questions coming in, you guys. What's happening? All right, somebody on Instagram is saying, I'm working on songwriting and I'm just having struggling time starting and getting something out there. Any tips? Yeah, that's a great question. So songwriting, you know, something that I like to do, oh, you guys, Restream just told me that I've reached 100 messages today. Thanks to all of you. Whoop, whoop, whoop. Also, thank you for getting to over 30,000 subscribers on my YouTube. So cool. So going back to your question, love this one. Songwriting, I think it's really helpful for any new songwriters out there to just like find a chord progression. If you play a chordal instrument, guitar or piano, that could be a good place to start. Just find like a very simple chord progression that feels good. Like I'll come up with a little, you know? Like 3 chords. Can you hear that? I know that webcam's being kind of funny. And then what I would do, you guys, is I would actually record that into your phone and then like, or straight into GarageBand. If you have just a simple interface, you can plug in your MIDI keyboard, put a little beat on it, and just loop it. And you definitely don't have to be a pro anything just to make your own music. And it's really fun to just like write your own songs and express yourself. So, and from there, I would start to just kind of, the way I do it is I start to hum and find some melodies that might feel good. Like, hey, yeah, 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 la, la, la. And I just kind of jam out until I might find something that I like. Sometimes I also start to write in my journal and see if any lyrics come to mind. And then if I find a specific lyric that I think is really cool, I might start to just insert that into my jam. Isn't it a sunny day outside? Isn't it a sunny day outside? You know what I mean? Isn't it? And you can start to do little variations, you know? Isn't it a sunny day? Isn't it a sunny day? Isn't it? And see what starts to feel good. Isn't it? Something I like to do also is just to take the same words and try to find different melodies around it, you know? Isn't it, isn't it, isn't it, isn't it a sunny day? Isn't it, isn't it, isn't it a sunny day? Isn't it, isn't it, isn't it a sunny day? Now the sun is shining outside. And then in the same chord progression, start to tell your story, you know? I was walking around, saw some cute puppies taking a walk, walking around. I wanted to get a little ice cream, but the ice cream store was closed. And isn't it a funny time outside? Folks are wearing masks and everything's upside down. Isn't it a sunny day? Isn't it a sunny day? You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. I'm just kind of singing about my day. I would say the first thing that's really important is to get quantity out there and really try not to judge your work. That's hard for me. It's really hard for me. Sometimes I start a song and then I'm like, this sucks. And then I can't, like, and then I just can't finish it. So instead of judging your work at the moment, my advice would be try to get as much out as you can and set a goal of like, I'm going to write a melody a day, and I'm not, and it becomes a question about like quantity, not quality. Because the minute that I start to focus on quality, then I get writer's block, really intense writer's block. Somebody's saying it's a hit. I was walking outside, saw the puppies. I did. I saw some very, very cute puppies today. You're very welcome, Gabby. I'm glad it was eye-opening for you. Let's take another caller. Who wants to call in? Let's see. If you guys have some questions, hit me with it. I'm going to answer your questions. We're going to have a friend call in on Instagram. Raka Dragon. Let's see. Yeah, exactly. Gustavo, you want to just start a song? And what's up? How you doing?
Not much new.
I see you got a berry out.
Yes, to take cons.
Yeah, man. Where are you calling from?
I'm calling Colorado.
From Colorado. Cool, cool. You want to play something for the people? What are you working on?
Like what?
Like, are you working on a specific song? You want to play us a little improv? Whatever you're feeling, man. Yeah! Ah. Dope. I really like that. I feel like that last part could even be like a song. I feel like you just started like a...
That's actually the intro to the one I'm making.
Oh, awesome. I love it. So, I'm digging it. So you're writing your own music.
Yes.
Cool, man. What's the song called?
I don't know. I haven't made a name up for it.
All right. Well, you guys heard it first on YouTube. You're live on YouTube, Facebook, and Instagram. You got any questions? Not to put you on the spot. If you don't, it's fine.
You know how to overtone bliss on a Yamaha 5C baritone mouthpiece?
Say that again?
You know how to overtone bliss on a Yamaha 5C baritone mouthpiece?
I know how to do, like, I guess, with my setup, I think at one point I was on the Yamaha 5C mouthpiece. I think once you get the hang of overtones and glisses, it's kind of the same no matter what your setup is, as long as you're not fighting against your setup. The biggest tip that I can give you about overtones, first of all, can you play any? Where are you at with overtones?
I don't have my auto link right now.
Okay. So the biggest tip I can give all of y'all for overtones is you really want to be able to, if you're having trouble popping out the higher ones, I think it's important to actually sing the note before you play it and just position everything, you know, in your throat internally to hit that note. So, you know, whether you're doing any kind of sliding thing, that all really comes from an overtone place. So being able to do a very systematic, like octave and fifth, and you know, sing it. And I try to keep the same positioning in my throat as when I'm singing it for when I'm going for that other overtone.
Yeah.
Is that helpful?
Yeah, because I do it perfectly on an auto link metal supertone 8, but I can't do it on Yamaha 5C.
Interesting. Okay, well there's some I think you might have to do a little bit of debugging in that specific case if you're nailing it on one. It's hard for me to say right now because I'm not playing that exact setup, but it's good to know that you're getting it on one of your setups. So yeah, doing a little debug there. Cool, man. Thanks for calling in. Yeah, keep at it.
Thank you for letting me join the video call.
Yeah, no, I'm digging it. I'd love to hear where you go with that song. Keep at it. Be well. Ciao.
You too.
I love it. Cats out here playing their own melodies and stuff. Super, super cool. You guys got so many great questions. Why did I choose the saxophone? The saxophone is like the sound of the human voice. My parents were playing Stan Getz around the house, and I was like 7-year-old Grace singing along to Stan Getz, Girl from Ipanema, and I just knew that I wanted to play the sax one day. It's just as like I had it in just in my soul. I knew that one day, and then the first time I got a sax in my hand, it was like I fell in love right away. I got a great sound. That was it. Started originally on classical piano, and then I got to clarinet. Really, I'm not going to use the word hate, but clarinet and I did not get along. There was a lot of squeaking, and but it was a totally different thing when the sax did happen. So that was really, really cool. It was suddenly like I didn't have to be told to practice. I just wanted to, you know. So that's all right. Let's go live with one other person. Let's bring Haley on. Thank you, Darren. You're very kind. Yes, girl from Ipanema. Gustavo. Love your name. La 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 la. What's up, Haley? How you doing?
Hi.
Hi. How are you?
I'm a little sick, but I'm hanging in there.
Yeah. Where are you calling from?
What was that? You were cut off a little bit.
Where are you calling in from?
I'm calling from northern Minnesota.
Cool. So you're feeling a little under the weather?
A little bit, but not anything to be worried about.
Okay, good. Happy to hear. So you playing what's going on? Do you play sax?
Yes, I'm a saxophone performer, jazz composition.
Oh wow, that's great. Saxophone performer and you're doing jazz composition. Very cool.
Yes.
Do you play what saxophone?
I am working on stuff for my jury right now, so things are a little weird. I'm mainly a tenor player, but right now I'm doing classical on alto.
Good for you. That's great.
Yeah.
That's like there's not many people. That's like the ultimate control. If you can be playing classical sax and jazz sax and the different axes. How is the practicing going?
It's hard because I'm sick right now.
I was about to say, there's nothing worse than like blowing into the sax when everything's congested.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's rough.
Yeah. And then, are you contemplating you have any questions that you've been thinking about? Any musical?
Yeah. So I'm pretty new. I started out as a performance major and then I added on jazz composition. And
okay.
If that makes.
You just cut out. Sorry, that was my phone. My phone cut out for a second. You're saying you started as. Can you walk me through it again?
I started as a primarily performance major.
Performance major.
And I just added jazz composition on top. And I was wondering, what I'm struggling with most is coming up a lot. And I was wondering if you had any advice on how to come up with melodies.
Come up with melodies? That's a great question.
I'm struggling.
So you're maybe just hit some writer's block right now? Or, yeah, I mean, like, this is such a great question, and it's something that I have definitely struggled with. And I was, like, saying a moment ago, that feeling of when you're writing something and when you're judging yourself, it's just, like, it can be the absolute worst, because in my situation, sometimes it just turns me off from writing. I would say in that case to try to, most of the creative blockage is coming from the pressure that you're putting on yourself. And so in order to really let go of that, you need to just start creating quantity, you know? So like, instead of sitting down and kind of having and I'm not saying that you're doing this, I'm speaking from actually my experience, sitting down and thinking like, I'm going to write the perfect song right now. Like, oh my God, there's already so much pressure, you know, or like, I'm going to write the greatest riff. And then I'm like, never going to start. So I think just the act of waking up. Yeah. You feel me? Just the act of like just, clearing your head and come into the music room. Maybe you want to even start writing in a different room. Sometimes it's good to kind of throw off your surroundings. If you usually write, on the piano, maybe it's a good time to go to the kitchen and, I don't know, open the fridge and see what melodies come out of the fridge. But the thing I would do is sit down and just say, I'm going to write a melody. Doesn't matter what comes out. The goal is I'm going to just write something before I get up, And so, actually thumbs up if it's a terrible melody, because just the act of writing something will help you get back onto the train. I have a feeling that it's probably inner judgment that's kind of crippling. And the pressures of everything happening, right? Of getting ready for finals and just need to come up with something good, but the more you just sit down and give yourself little small goals, I'm going to write 4 bars, see what comes out. And then go take a walk and then come back, be I'm going to write another 4 bars. And then you'll start to feel okay, I'm having just some successes of even just writing things again. And just let the pressure cool down a bit. See if that's helpful,
Yeah. What my problem seems to be is that I'm dealing with that, but I'm also tending to write the same thing over and over.
Okay. All right. You're writing the same lines over and over again. So, yeah.
Purely accidental.
Okay. Well, something that could help with that is, why don't you try inverting some of your phrases, right? So if you start to notice that you're always writing a line, I'm just giving an example of you write something that's high to low, what about flipping it? Or if you're always writing a line that starts on say beat 1, then make yourself write a line that starts on the end of 2 and just see where that takes you. Purposely look at that line and say, what could I do to invert you, to change your rhythm, to just kind of change something. And by necessity, your lines will change. I also strongly recommend that for practicing too. Because sometimes people say, oh, you might have froze, Haley. Might have frozen us. But anyways, for those of you who could hear me, sometimes people say the same thing about their improv, that they are stuck and they're playing the same things. So that's a really good opportunity to try these new concepts. Haley, I think you're freezing, so we're gonna say bye for now, but great questions. We're gonna peace out. Keep me posted on all that. You guys, thank you so much for joining. Thank you. It's so nice to get all your questions and to live stream with you. For those of you who did not catch my live stream on Instagram yesterday, I'm contemplating starting office hours, virtual office hours for any of you that have musical questions or that have saxophone questions. I'm going to hold 1 hour of office hours. I'm thinking of starting the first one this Friday. Probably at evening time, maybe 5 or 6 p.m. EST, where you can specifically just debug some of your questions and go in deep about saxophone or music questions. Anybody interested? I know that my Instagram friends certainly are, but if any of you on Facebook or YouTube are interested, let me know, and I might hold it. I probably will just do it on Instagram because that's where people can actually call in. So find me there. But in general, I'll be live streaming to all the platforms. So love hearing from you guys. Thank you so much for joining in. Thank you for your great questions. I'm going to be live streaming on a much more regular basis now. You guys have really lifted my spirits. I appreciate you. I hope you're doing well. I hope you're staying healthy and washing your hands. I will just play you a little something before I depart for now. Interrupt for a moment because y'all are so sweet. Some people are commenting asking, where can I give you money? It's like, no, I really, really appreciate your support. The best way, if you guys feel like supporting, is on my website, gracekellymusic.com. I have a merch store, and I just uploaded new pictures because I have new mugs available and new hats available, and their shirts and their CDs. So if you do feel like supporting, I want you to get some goodies too. So you can go to my online store and support me there. Thank you very much for my friends who are part of my Patreon. That's another source of you can join me on Patreon. I feel like I gotta get you guys, my Patreon fam. I'm overdue with some videos, so thank you for your patience. But I was about to play you the last day, and I was just very overwhelmed that somebody just wrote that. So I'm just gonna. Anyways, I'm going to continue right now. And thank you for those of you who had also like sent YouTube tips the other day. That was so sweet. Just thanks. Thank you guys. Much love to you. Have a great rest of the night. See you guys soon. Ciao, ciao. Facebook, YouTube. Thank you all for joining me. Much love.